Today we celebrate the solemnity of Christ the King, a feast that tells the world something radical. God's power is real. God's power is active. And his power is always directed toward our salvation and never our destruction. Many people today misunderstand divine power. They imagine God as some cosmic judge waiting for us to slip up. They picture Christ the King as a ruler who punishes first and forgives later. But today's gospel message found in Luke tells a different story. It shows to us a king who uses his power not to condemn, but to transform, to forgive, and to save. Christ shows us that God's power is not used to crush us, but his power is used to change hearts and to make all things new. God's power is revealed to us as mercy, not wrath. When Jesus is on the cross, he is surrounded by those who cause him pain. They mock him, they torture him. The whole scene is one of injustice. And listen to the voice of Christ. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That, my friends, is divine power, not lightning from heaven, nor armies of angels sent to destroy the wicked, not righteous anger, but forgiveness. God's first instinct toward human failure is mercy. And God's power is the power to forgive and to fix what we cannot fix ourselves, to heal the wounds that are too deep for our own strength. God's power helps us to lift the burdens too heavy for our own hands. And Jesus does not forgive because we deserve it. Jesus forgives because he is mercy. You know, at times we might be afraid of God, and people in the world might be afraid of God. They might think to themselves that their mistakes are too many, that the patterns of their failings continue to be a constant companion, that their sins are too embarrassing. For them and for us, the gospel proclaims loudly, God does not wish to punish. God wishes to transform us with his love and his saving power. And God's power works even when we think it's too late. Jesus hangs on the cross with a criminal to his right and a criminal to his left. And the man condemned says to Jesus, "Have you no fear of God? For we are subject to the same condemnation, and our crimes correspond to our punishments." You see, he has no illusions about himself. He doesn't pretend to be a righteous man. He doesn't bargain with Jesus or make excuses. He simply turns to Jesus and says, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." Now, at this moment, we might expect Jesus, our King, to answer with some form of correction or a warning. But instead, Jesus responds with astonishing and urgent grace. "I say to you, you will be with me in paradise." That is not punishment. That is, my friends, transformation. This is the power of Christ the King, the power to rewrite the life story of a person in a single moment of faith. The good thief teaches us something essential about who God truly is. God's love can enter our lives at any moment, no matter how late we might think it is, no matter how broken we might feel, and bring to us a newness of life. If God can transform a dying criminal, he can transform our lives, our marriages, our habits, our fears, our past, to make an even more beautiful future. Because God does not look for reasons to condemn the world. What God looks for is the smallest of openings, that he might heal each and every one of us. And that has power when we really take a moment to think about it. Many of us and many people in the world might secretly fear God, his judgment. We might think of our failures and say, well, God cannot love me, that I'll never be good enough. But Jesus on the cross speaks to those of us and says, I am here to heal you. He doesn't say, depart from me, or explain yourself, or come back when you're perfect. My friends, Jesus says, today you will be with me. You see, Jesus is a king that draws people to himself. He doesn't push them away. And when we understand that truth, fear loses its hold on us. And we begin to see God not as a distant ruler and judge, but as a loving father who uses his authority to bring about hope, to bring about love and justice and mercy, not terror. And that power can change the world. It can change us. Even when we feel stuck, as we often do in patterns of failings, or, still there are wounds that we carry with us from the past, anger, resentment, that we just seem to not be able to let go of, relationships that seem to be beyond repair. All of these things Jesus can fix. We try to fix them, but oftentimes we fail. Jesus, at that moment, enters into our lives. He has the power to overcome shame, and he acts in our lives to bring about a newness of life. And that is the call to each and every one of us, to go out into the world and to spread the good news of Christ the King. That no matter who we are or where we find ourselves, God is not done with us. And God can change those things that seem to be unchangeable. And God's power works in us when we feel our weakest. And God's true desire for all people is to heal them, even more than we desire healing ourselves. Because God's love recreates and makes anew, no matter what we have faced in the past. My brothers and sisters, this is an important message for a world that is so much in need of that message. That Christ is King, and he rules with authority. And he calls on us as his disciples to go out into the world and to preach the good news of his love and his mercy, so that the world and those in it may know what we know, that Jesus calls on us to be with him. And when we accept that, we are with him this day and all days in paradise.
Don't forget to follow St. Patrick's on Facebook or subscribe on YouTube. And please join us for any of our live stream masses this weekend. Details are below in the description. God bless you. Like burning incense, O Lord, let my prayer rise up to you. Like burning incense, O Lord, let my prayer rise up to